Hello and welcome to The Appointment. I am Pranjal Sharma. Joining me today for a conversation is Dr. Ajay Mathur, who is the Director General of the Energy and Resources Institute. Dr. Mathur, so much of excitement about your leadership at TERI. It's of course been a very venerated institution, but new leadership led by you, who has done a lot of work in energy efficiency, brings a lot of freshness to TERI. Let me begin by asking you about, how are you approaching TERI as its leader and giving it direction?
Pranjal, first of all, it's wonderful to be here. Thank you very much. It's also great to be at TERI. I worked in TERI many years ago, 20 years ago, and therefore it's a bit of a homecoming. TERI has made a name for itself as a research institution. And the products of its research you see as policies, you see as products and technologies, and you see as services. We work in many areas. We work in energy, we work in climate change, we work in sustainable agriculture, water, environmental management. And the goal of all of this is so that you and I have got an alternative solution to how we use energy, water, and other resources.
In a perhaps more responsible way.
In a much more responsible way. So, for example, there's a lot of biomass used in this country. Approximately 1/5 of the total energy used in this country is biomass. And most of it is used very inefficiently, direct combustion. So, colleagues in TERI have developed something known as the biomass gasifier, which converts this biomass into a gas instead of direct burning. And then you can use a gas much more efficiently. Challenge? How do we get more and more people to use it? Similarly, colleagues have developed a consortium of bacteria called oil zapper, which if you put over soil that is contaminated with oil, it converts it back into useful soil. Right now we are using it over soil contaminated with oil in Kuwait, which happened at the end of the first Gulf War. Again, the goal is that we are able to live in an environment which is better than the one that we were living in yesterday.
But that's a fascinating piece in terms of finding technological solutions to environmental issues, especially what you're referring to is environmental disasters, which usually happen around fossil fuels, and we've seen oil spill related issues. At TERI, which of these various facets would drive its next phase of growth? It has had a great journey so far. Is it time for TERI to now recalibrate and look at new ways of approaching these issues, especially because the environment is also rapidly changing?
Our greatest challenge is that these various solutions that TERI has developed reach out to you and me, and we are able to actually use it. It's affordable and it's easy to use. This means business models. And a lot of TERI's work now is about ensuring that, for example, the gasifier or the oil zapper is used by somebody, is made available to them, and in large enough quantities so that it makes a difference. It transforms lives.
It's from research to application to adapting and adopting of the technologies in daily usage for institutions and individuals.
That's exactly what it is.
Is that what your goal is now?
Absolutely, absolutely. The goal is exactly what you said, not only to do research, but to make it such that it's useful to you and I, and available in large enough numbers that it makes a transformational difference.
So where is the challenge? Because one keeps hearing of these fantastic solutions which look like great islands of excellence, but somehow they never reach the market or the society or the institutions that will deliver them on the ground. What has been missing, and what do you think can be done now to ensure that if you come up with an oil zapper, it is actually used on the ground? If you come up with maybe another innovation in the coming months, that people at individual level can use it for a better life?
I think there are two major challenges. The first, as I said, is a business model. That means somebody makes a living out of taking this solution and bringing it to your home and mine. That's number one. The second is we also need an enabling policy environment. For example, TERI pioneered energy audits in this country about 25, 30 years ago.
Right.
We did a lot of them. At some point of time, they also became pro forma exercise industries, getting them done so they could sign off. But what happened over the last 15 years or so is, as energy prices increased, industries realized that this was something that made sense to them. Policies were put in place where the emphasis was not just on getting the energy audits done, but making sure that they are implemented. That created an atmosphere in which energy audits were valued for the services that they provided. So business models and policies, those are the two areas where TERI now focuses on, so that we can take the results of our work into offices, factories, homes, farms, and so on.
And that applies also very well and resonates very well with the approach of the current government, where they have been trying to create a sustainable business model for renewable energy, for instance. How do you see this change in the policy atmosphere, Ajay? That do you think it's going to be taking these thoughts forward? Will it add momentum to creating business models for using energy more efficiently?
Absolutely. I will only give you the example of the LED bulb. Few years ago, when we tried to go into the market and buy an LED bulb, it costed 310 rupees. And the challenge was that you and I, despite the fact that it would pay for itself in 3 years, did not do it because it costed a lot of money. And if it failed, we lost a lot of money. So the business model there was the creation of this new company, Energy Efficiency Services Limited, which through the electricity companies sold it to you and me as consumers, took 10 rupees a month through our electricity bills, said it will change the bulb if it fails, no questions asked, and then started procuring it in bulk. And the first procurement that they did in January 2014, it costed 310 rupees. And the seventh procurement, which they have done today, in August 2016, the price has dropped to 38 rupees. What it tells you is that a clear path ahead, a clear set of benefits, helps completely transform the market.
And well articulated.
Communicated, very well communicated. That's an essential part of it, because you and I as users will spend this money when we are sure that the information that we are being provided is credible and makes a difference in our life.